This is a pretty common problem where the door handle chrome starts to come off. It actually creates quite sharp edges that can cut your fingers. I'm going to replace it with this one. This is actually a second-hand one. It does have a small imperfection there, but on the most part, it's pretty good. To remove this, the first thing we need to do is remove this cover plate. And then right at the very top of this cover plate, there is a small notch that we can use to get a tool behind and pull that piece of plastic out. If you've got them, I'd definitely suggest you use some sort of a plastic trim removal, just so that you don't mark the plastic with a screwdriver. You can quite easily see that notch there now, and that's just held in with 3 clips. You'll need a T15 Torx bit, and just zip that screw out of its place. With the screw removed, the only thing holding this in now is the clips, and we can have a look at the replacement one. It has a clip on each side. The rearmost one is quite different in design compared to the rest. It has a sort of bit of an L shape and actually hooks behind the trim, whereas the other ones are just a push-over fit. So I'm going to work at trying to pull this out either at the front or the top here, and we'll leave that one, and hopefully it can kind of hinge its way out and we can pull it out. Definitely want to use a trim removal tool here, because you don't want to mark up the plastics at all. Just pushing that in. We can see it's beginning to come out a little bit here. What we're trying to do is just pop it past those lugs there. So it is fairly tight, but in saying that, I'm not too concerned if I damage this handle, because it's going to be discarded anyway. Looking in close from the top, I've got it past the top lugs, so I'm now going to be working on these ones on the front edge. Just working my way around, and the door handle pops out. Now we can see here it's attached to the cable that goes to the lock mechanism, and there's the innermost part of the cable. It has a clip here that we just need to ease back. Lift that up. Now what I can do is I can kind of pull this along like this, and it's actually pulling on the inner cable, and there'll be a split where the cable can come up and through that housing. Now I can just relax that tension, and now I can just wiggle it into a position where I can pull that ball out of the end. Now that's that removed, so that one we throw away. And here is the end of our cable. So that's obviously unlocking our door and the clip that holds it in place. Grabbing the new one. First thing I want to do is line that ball up and push that in. Now I can pull this, line it up so that it goes through that groove. Just to show you the groove in the old one. That's it there, the groove that I'm talking about. So the cable will slip through there. Now we'll line up the back half of that, and we want to make sure that that's clipped on and fully engaged. At this point we can see that it's all working. So we want to push this now back in. So I'll start with the back one, because it was a little bit of a different design, and these ones look like they can be pushed in. So we'll sit that on, make sure that that's fully located back. A couple of good taps will make sure that's back in. And just make sure that that door handle has fully engaged. It's not in any way loose. Now we'll grab the screw and do it back up. grab this trim piece, push it back in, and just give it a wipe down to get all of our fingerprints off, and we're done.